Howdy and welcome to the Confidence Through Health podcast. I'm Jerry Snyder. As an elite level athlete, owner of All In Health and Wellness, and author of the book Confidence Through Health, my goal is to help you achieve your goals and dreams using health as the conduit to get there. Howdy and welcome to the Confidence Through Health podcast. This is your host, Jerry Snyder. And this episode is brought to you by BrightnSmile.com. That's BRYTN, smile.com. Elevate your smile, elevate your life. If you go to BrightnSmile.com and pick out any of their teeth whitening products, when you go to checkout, use the discount code ALLINHEALTH and you'll receive 25% off your order. The link for BrightnSmile.com will be in the show notes and also on the website confidencethroughhealth.com. And remember, elevate your smile, elevate your life, and use the discount code ALLINHEALTH to get 25% off your order. So in this episode, I want to talk a little bit about the necessity of exercise and how most people get it wrong. Most people don't understand how to compare themselves to others, and that really we shouldn't be comparing ourselves to others when it comes to elite athletes, when it comes to the people who are, as Charles Barkley says, I'm not a role model, but that most of our kids, most of our teens that are athletes look up to these professional athletes, whether it's LeBron James or Tom Brady or, anybody else. When we look at these athletes and try to compare what we do to what they do, it's apples and oranges. It's not even close to comparison. It's like apples and cows. Like they're not even the same type of food. It's so, though, a part of who we are that we want to be better. We want to strive for excellence. But a lot of times we get caught up in, well, if this athlete is doing this workout, then I need to do that workout too. And that's simply not the case when it comes to just your overall health. If you're trying to get to where they are, absolutely, you need to mimic and do the things that have got them where they are. But most of us are not trying to do that. If you're a high school athlete, college athlete, and you're listening to this and you're striving to make it to the next level, well, yeah, you need to do those things. If you're a past athlete, meaning you're not competing anymore, but you still want to be in good shape and you still want to be healthy, exercise is different for you at that point in your life. And so one of the things that's become trendy in the past years is these I call them high octane, but they're high intensity interval training workouts that people are doing like they are these elite athletes when they are not those elite athletes, especially when they're just starting in a routine and they're doing these workouts that their body is not prepared for. Their body is not, accustomed to and trained for. And what happens is you get hurt and you get injured. And then instead of saying that you don't like that type of exercise or that type of exercise got me injured, what you say to yourself is exercise hurt me. And so I don't want to exercise anymore. Most people go down that route. And it's simply not the case. What's the case is that you chose the wrong type of exercise to do for the situation that you are in currently. Does that mean that anybody that's older and past their competitive prime, if you will, shouldn't be striving to be excellent with the exercise that they do? No, it doesn't. I compete in masters events, over 40, over 45. They have these events all the way up to 100 plus for age groups. And people are competing in these events. And it's everything from track and field to archery to rowing to anything you can think of that is an Olympic event, that is a sport. They have these things out there for all of us that are, quote unquote, past our prime of competitiveness and don't have the ability any longer to actually make it to the professional level. But that doesn't mean that we can't strive to be our best, but striving to be our best does not mean matching what those younger individuals or what those more talented individuals are doing. Because when you do that, you simply get yourself into trouble. And by and large, most of us don't need to exercise like that simply to be healthy. So if you're looking to simply be healthy, it comes out to be a simple exercise routine that you need to join into, that you need to begin. And it is not beginning with the recommendations that are out there, whether depending on who you listen to, whether it's 30 minutes a day or 100 minutes a day or an hour and a half, 4 days a week, or whatever these different recommendations are that are coming from different groups. You don't start with that. You start slow, 5 minutes. And if you can't do 5 minutes, you do 2 minutes. Like you start out at what you can handle. And you don't start out running if you can't handle walking. You start out walking. Okay. You don't start out doing push-ups on the floor, from your toes and your hands or from your knees even. If you can't do one, well, then you start out doing wall push-ups. You start out doing something that's very simple, very easy, that's getting your body used to moving, used to the range of motion. And you're telling your muscles, hey, guess what? We're going to start changing some things. We're going to start exercising. We're going to start becoming stronger. So you want to start slow and easy. Most people that I start off on plans, I tell them that they will not be sore during the first week. They will not be sore during the second week. Because yes, while soreness can be a good thing when you're exercising, especially when you're trying to build muscle, because it's a sign that you have actually torn that muscle. And to actually build it, one of the ways to build it is to tear that muscle, let it repair itself. It's going to repair itself stronger. Okay. But to do that at the very beginning, to do that when you are not used to doing anything, it can send your body into massive soreness and can disrupt your life. And oftentimes it will prevent you from going forward because your mind will say, why in the world are you doing this to me? I don't want to do this anymore. I don't like it. It hurts. I can't walk in the morning. I can't lift my arms. And you're combating yourself at that point because you desire to be healthy and exercise, but your mind and your brain is saying, no. This hurts too much. We can't do this anymore. Self-preservation. We're going to stop this. So always start out slow. Always start out with less than you think you can do, because then you'll complete it. You won't be sore. You'll be excited about being able to go back the next day and see if you can do just a little bit more. You add on just a little bit at a time. Okay. And I'm talking like small incrementals. Like you don't want to go over more than like 10 or 12% of an increase from week to week. So if you have a workout plan for the first week, follow that workout plan. Put the plan together for the week. Don't put it together for day by day because you're going to trick yourself. You're going to hurt yourself. Put the plan together for a week. Make sure that it is simple and easy. Move on to the next week. And you want to increase no more than 10%, 10 to 12% from week to week. So that means whether it's reps, whether it's amount of weight, it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's amount of time that you're or distance that you're going for week to week, it needs to be small incremental increases. When you get farther down the road, like if you're going to start out running or jogging or walking even, and you say, for this first week, I want to, I've been a runner before. I've taken a lot of time off. I'm trying to start back up. So I'm going to start at, maybe 15 miles for the week. Okay. So that's like 2 miles a day. Some of you might be saying, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Yeah, that's a lot. It can be a lot. That could be 30 minutes a day. So that could be a lot for some people. But if you're a former runner, you've just taken a little time off, you were trying to get back into it, that's a pretty easy place to start. So 15 miles a day. A lot of people will go 15 miles a day. 15 miles a week, 15 miles a week. And then the next week they jump to 20. And that's a 5-mile increase for the week. It doesn't sound like a lot because it's less than a mile per day increase. But overall, that's a pretty hefty percentage increase, because a 10 or 12% increase would be 1.5 miles, not 5 miles for the whole week. And so you want to have those small increments of increase. Now, when you get farther along in the process and you're at 50 miles a week, let's say you're training for a marathon, let's say you're training for an Ironman triathlon, let's say you're training for something big and huge, and so you're really going after it. Well, if you're at 50 miles a week and you're going to increase by 10 to 12%, now you're talking about 5 or 6 miles. Now you're talking about 1 mile a day increase through that process from week to week. And so now you're taking bigger jumps, but your body can handle it because your body's been used to handling a lot more on a daily basis. 50 miles a week is 7 miles a day on average. So adding another mile, it's not even a mile every day. But let's say you're adding, let's say you go from 7 to 7.5. That's pretty easy to handle versus going from, 2 miles a day to 3 miles a day. That's a big increase. And so if you're looking at weights, if you're lifting weights and you start out and you're using, 10-pound dumbbells for all your reps, and then you go the next week, you go, okay, I want to go up. I want to go to the 15s. Well, if you go to the 15s, you're probably not going to be able to get the same number of reps out, or your form is going to fall apart, or you're going to be extremely sore afterwards. If you're just starting and you did 1 week at 10, and then you go, you know what, I'm going to increase it to 15s because the 10s are weak, or the 10s are, whatever you want to tell yourself about. Nobody uses the 5s and 10s down at the bottom. They will all use the big ones. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. What matters is what's good for you in the moment that you are exercising, and that your plan is properly allocated as far as increases along the plan to make it work for you. And so a proper increase, if you were doing 10 reps of each exercise with 10-pound weights, you could go up to maybe the 12-pound weights. Okay. That'd be a 12% increase or so. You could go to the 12-pound weights, or you could increase your reps. So if you're doing 10 reps, you could go to 12 reps. Okay. And then get to where you're doing 15 reps at 10 pounds. And then when you get to 15, or maybe you won't even go to 20, when you get to that point, then what you do is you increase the weight, and you're going to increase the weight. And sometimes it may be hard to find a 12.5-pound dumbbell. Maybe they only have a 10 and a 15. So you need to go to the 15. If you're doing 15 reps at 10, drop that down and do 8 reps at 15 to make sure that you could handle it and do well. And then go from 8 reps to 10 reps, and then go from 10 reps to 12 reps, and 12 reps to 15 reps. And then you can go from 15 to 20-pound dumbbells, and you drop back down to 8 reps. So that's how you build a program properly, is you look at the overall weight that you're lifting. You look at the individual weight that you're lifting. You look at properly increasing by a small amounts from week to week. You're not trying to go out and go, I'm going to start off with 10 push-ups, and I'm going to add 10 push-ups every day, so that at the end of the week, you're doing 70 push-ups in a day. If you're doing it all at once, your body is going to freak out on you. Do 10 push-ups at a time every day. And if you want to increase how many you're doing per day, then do a set of 10, and then wait a little bit, and then do another set of 10. And do that for a couple of days, and then add another set of 10, or maybe then go to 2 sets of 15 to make sure that your body can handle it, that your form is correct. Because as soon as you lose your form, and that's what happens with most people when they're improperly increasing their exercise, their body cannot handle the form change with the increased weight or the increased reps. And whether that's weightlifting, running, whatever the exercise is, the increase in weights, the increase in reps will mess up your form. And as soon as you lose your form, you get hurt. Almost every time. As soon as you lose your form, the good, proper form and technique, as soon as you lose that, you're going to get hurt. And every personal trainer, every exercise physiologist, every coach that's out there that is worth anything will tell you that, and they will correct you. If you're in the gym, you're in the weight room, you're out on the track, they will correct you and say, whoa, hey, you need to fix this. Either you're getting way too tired, you need to stop, or you're doing too much, you need to back off a little bit, or your weight's too heavy, because your form is going off. And as soon as you're off, you're going to get hurt. And so you need to stop now before trying to push through and have that injury point. And I talked to a lot of doctors, and a lot of doctors like some of these exercise routines that are out there that have been trendy in the past few years, not because they're good for you, but because they keep patients coming in with injuries. And so I say like sort of in a sarcastic, facetious way, because they don't want you to get hurt. They don't like that. They like that you're trying to exercise. They don't like what these routines are doing to people, but they like it from the standpoint of it keeps them in business. It keeps customers coming in the door. Because believe me, doctors have so many patients right now that they can't see everybody that they need to see. And so if you're not doing these things to hurt yourself, but you're actually doing the proper exercise to be improving your health, to be, looking at a longevity standpoint, the doctors love that and they want you to do that. But it's not about exercise is 80% of the equation of your health, or exercise is 20% of the equation of your health, or it's 50-50. Exercise is important. Exercise is a necessity. The way you exercise is totally dependent on what works for you, what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish, and what will help you sustain an exercise program. So whether it's running, biking, yoga, pick up basketball games, whatever, working out in the gym, whatever those exercises are, keep at them. Keep going. Do the increases the right way. Increase over time, slowly, and make sure that you have the proper realistic expectations, goals, and that you're comparing yourself to the proper plan so that you are not looking at it going, I'm trying to be this person out there who is an elite athlete, or maybe even not an elite athlete, but maybe just somebody that that's able to do all these things. And you're like, why can't I do all those things? Well, guess what? Your bodies are different. Okay. Their makeup is different than your makeup. I would love to be a sprinter because the races are a heck of a lot shorter. I don't have that body makeup. I have a long distance makeup. And so I have to run long distances. Believe me, I would love to be a sprinter and be able to be done in, 45 seconds or a minute and a half, instead of running these longer races that are 18 minutes or an hour and a half, or, what have you. So don't compare yourself to other people. Don't compare your plans to improve your health to other people, because everybody's different. Your body makeup is different. Your muscle makeup is different. Your nutrition is different. How your body uses the nutrition is different. All of these things mean don't compare yourself to other people. Take nuggets out of their exercise plans if it works for them, and try it and see if it works for you. At a proper number of reps, at a proper weight, at a proper amount of time or distance, all of those things need to be accounted for. But once you do that, you can try those and see at a scaled back level, does this type of workout work for me? Because you may be able to expand your horizons. You may be able to expand what you're doing. So you don't have boredom. You don't have issues that come in of complacency, because it's just like, oh, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. It's hard for a lot of people to do that. You like variety. You like to be able to mix things up. There's a couple of exercise workout routines out there that group fitness classes and things that they do that. They change things up on a weekly basis to make it more effective, more motivating, more enjoyable for people. Some people enjoy that. Some people need that. Just like some people have to have a massive variety in their meals, and other people can eat the same thing every day. And it might be surprising to you, but most of the elite athletes out there eat the same exact thing every day. When they're in training, when they're in the off season, when they're in training, or I should say preseason, when they're in training and when they're in their peak mode, they are eating the same thing every day for the most part, most of them, because they can't rely on that elite talent that the very, very few high level all-star professionals have. That they have to be able to get extremely dialed in with every part of their life, their exercise and their nutrition and their sleep and their relationships and everything, just to be able to maintain that high level of performance. And that should tell you something. That should tell all of us something about there's a very, very few people that can do it, whatever we're talking about, that can perform either on a career level and a performance level on a, what their human body can do, whatever kind of athletic event it is. Relationships, there's very few people that can just be able to perform, just boom, done. Most of us out there have to put in work and effort and time and discipline into it. And when we do those things, a lot of times it becomes boring. A lot of times it becomes very routine. It becomes a very much a pattern of the same thing over and over and over, just to improve by little bits. But that's what we're all looking for. And so that's how exercise helps you. Little bitty increases that can compound over time through a routine and a consistency. And if you can do those things, you're not going to have massive short-term improvements without some sort of injury happening. What you're looking for is the really long-term improvements. You're looking for that long-term investment and that long-term improvement, because that's the way that most of our bodies are going to take it. That's the way most of our bodies are going to handle and react to the amount of exercise that we put on it, the amount of strain that we're putting on the bones and the muscles and the joints. So exercise is a necessity. It's not the necessity that it is for elite athletes. For you and me, exercise is a necessity for health. You must exercise at some level to be able to maintain long-term health and longevity. So start up a plan, do it very slow, do it very easy, make sure it's something you can handle. Don't think of it as this huge long-term, I'm going to be doing this for the rest of my life because, I've got to. No, it's just day by day. Just do it day by day. Don't think about one of these days I'm going to be exercising for an hour. Oh my gosh, that seems like forever and it's going to be miserable and it's going to be, why would I want to do that? Because right now, when you can't exercise for more than 10 minutes, an hour seems like a long time, because it would be a long time. Keep things in perspective. Right now, we're going for 5 minutes. We're going for 10 minutes. We're going for 15 or 20 minutes, depending on where your starting level is, what your ability is. We're just trying to lift the 2-pound dumbbells, the 5-pound dumbbells. Even if you're a former weightlifter, football player, been in the gym, wrestler, whatever it is, bodybuilder, you've been in the gym, all your young years, but you haven't been in there for the last 10 years or 15 years or 20 years. If you go in there and try and do what you used to be able to do, you're going to get hurt very quickly. I've seen it happen over and over and over from people that don't listen to the advice that the proper educated people are giving them about how to start and where to start. So exercise is a necessity. How much exercise is based on what you're trying to accomplish, is based on what your starting point is, and it's based on what your body makeup is. So everybody's different. Stop comparing yourself to anybody else. Whether it's exercise or nutrition or life in general, anything. Like, comparison is a horrible thing for most of us, because it puts us in a place where we can't accomplish what we want to accomplish because we're so worried about what other people are doing. and how we fit in and how we compare to what they're doing. So just get out there, get a little exercise in. You're going to feel better. You may feel like a lack of energy at the beginning. You may think, I'm too tired. I don't even want to go out and exercise because I'm just going to get more tired. Initially, you'll get a little tired and then you'll have a boost of energy. That's the way it works. Your body will pay you back. What you put into your body will pay you back. You put in junk, your body will pay you back with junk. You put in healthy food, your body's going to pay you back with energy. It's going to pay you back with productivity. You put in exercise, your body's going to pay you back with energy and productivity. You put in lounging around and being sedentary, your body's going to pay you back with the inability to do anything else, which is going to create more sedentary lounging around time. So get out there, do a little exercise. If you're in North America, it's a great time to start because the weather's cooling off. It's not too cold yet. It's not hot as it was over the summer. It's a great time to get out there and start the routine. It's a lot easier to do it now than it is to do it January 1st. January 1st is cold. January 1st, typically in most of the country in North America, it's getting colder still. It's not getting warmer on January 1st. It's getting colder still for another 6 weeks or 8 weeks or maybe even longer. So start now, build that routine. So when January 1st comes, you've already got it started. You're already compounding on the work that you've done and the time and effort that you've put in. And you will see results that will probably start shocking you if you continue to do it just a little bit at a time. Just a little bit at a time. And just remember that 10 to 12%. If you do something that is a bigger increase than 10 to 12%, make sure that you question what you're doing. If somebody's giving it to you as a plan, question them. If you're trying to do it yourself, pull the reins back a little bit. Make sure that you stay healthy. Because if you don't stay healthy, it's hard to exercise. It's hard to exercise when you're hurt, when you're injured. It's hard to get that routine going. It's hard to get that habit stacking going. It's hard to get that compounding efforts going if you're injured. So avoid injury, 10 to 12%. You're going to do great. Get out there, start with a little bit every day. Start with a little bit every day, 6 days a week. If you can do it 6 days a week, take a day off. Don't assume that if you take Monday off, you're going to do it every other day. Use that last day of the week. Reward yourself. You're going to find out that a lot of times you're going to keep doing it and you're not going to take that day off because it's addicting. It's fun. It gives you a boost of energy and it makes you feel good. Makes your body feel good. So get out there, get a little exercise in. It'll boost your confidence. It'll boost your health. It'll make you a better person. It'll make you healthy. Thanks for checking out the All in Health and Wellness Confidence Through Health podcast. Our goal is to use health as a conduit to help you reach your goals in life.
A little lighter than me. I'm about to black out. Her grip is getting tighter on me. I think I like it deep inside. I feel the fire in me. She like the milky, see me creaming to the coffee in me. She got soul in the sway.